afternoon, everyone. It is Christine back with the second video for the new prompt for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, the treasure hunt, where we got our prompt of monogram or initials or an initial. And I'm creating a letter B as the title page for all the letter B stitches that I'm going to be including in the little stitch along that I am doing. Where we're stitching a different stitch each day, and we've got blanket stitch, which we've done a whole lot of variations for so far. We moved on to braid stitch tonight, and then we've also got a whole lot of other bee stitches to go, but I'm getting ahead and getting the title page done for my little fabric book. And in the previous episode I shared how I had transferred the design onto my fabric, and so you can watch that video if you'd like to see that process. And then I started the process of stitching, and I've continued to do some more stitching because I thought it would get totally tedious if you were watching the whole stitching process, but I thought I'd come back and finish off the flower and then finish off this side. Now you'll get a laugh from this. I had actually got the iron out just to take away any of the remaining friction marker on this side, and I was kind of merrily ironing away going, oh, that looks really nice. And then I didn't realise, I kind of realised in my head but didn't think in the moment that all where I'd drawn the design on this side was going to go away. So I actually just drew by freehand because again I want to make this one my own. So now it's very much my own design on that side rather than something that I have traced. So I've got the yellow thread threaded, and we'll finish off doing the little flower. So as you can see, I've done lots of just tiny little back stitches all the way around so far, and we're just going to finish. I thought it might be nice to have that little pop of yellow colour because in the little fabric dictionary of stitches or treasury of stitches, I've used blues and yellows for all my bee stitches. So I thought it'd be good to tie it in with the title page this way. So I hope you're all having a great day or a great evening. If you would like to join our little stitch along, you would be most welcome. And no obligation to do all the stitches. Pick and choose if you want which ones you'd like to follow along for. And if you would like to get to know a lovely bunch of ladies, you can join our little live chats when the videos premiere. It's just got to be such a lovely little community. I just really look forward to the evenings when I get to have a chat with my ladies. It is very good fun. We've actually been, a couple of us were just chatting about how it's sort of not enough time when we join in the live chat. So we might even, depending on whether everyone has it, we might even set up a little Facebook group, because it'd be also lovely if those taking part were able to share their pictures, a bit like we do with the Roxy projects, because YouTube isn't good for people who aren't sharing videos to be able to share pictures, which is a bit of a pity because it is so lovely to admire everyone's work and provide encouragement. Now I'm just going to pop an extra little yellow stitch in because I just want it to look like sort of two petals there. Make sure I don't unthread my needle. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that, so we'll tie the yellows off. Pass my needle and another stitch, and then just snip it off. Put that into my little orts jar. So now we'll proceed to do the other side. So I'm using a thinner blue for these sort of thinner bits of foliage. So I've used the bold navy blue for the letter components. And I think it works really well to have that two-tone plus the little yellow flower. I can decide at the end whether I add any little sort of French knots around. And I was toying with the idea of beads, but I don't think the traditional monograms would have been beaded. So I want to sort of stay a bit true to tradition, I think. I can always do some research. And if there was beading, then I can consider that. But I think I'll otherwise keep it traditional. So I'm just going to pop out at the top, up here. Turn on the side so I don't catch on the embroidery hoop. And then I'll just work my way down and do each of the little offshoot flowers as I go. So many lovely, gorgeous creations being shared in the Facebook group for the Roxy project. It's just so lovely seeing everyone's different approaches, and all so beautiful. And people that say, "Oh, I'm just a beginner," but yeah, creating amazingly gorgeous work. Stitching is such a unifying thing. You can kind of we can all pick up a thread, we can all have a piece of fabric, and we can all create something lovely, and we can keep refining our technique. So many of us have just been so surprised by how many stitches we don't actually know when we come to learn all the different variations of blanket stitch. So we're all learning, we're all refining all the time. And there is definitely something about just picking up the fabric and thread regularly, because the more you do it, the easier things that might once have been difficult become simpler and not daunting. I remember when I first started bullion knots, I just found them so hard, and now I just happily work away on them. So I'm going to jump across to the flower because that's the next closest point for me to go. Just going to do some smaller ones again around the flower to get that nice curve. Just checking the camera. Hopefully I'm staying on camera. Won't come up too close. I know some of the ladies have been having trouble with their cameras going out of focus, which might be something to do with one of the upgrades. Not sure. So it's Saturday here in Melbourne, Australia, and it is windy. Apparently it was howling with wind last night. I managed to sleep right through it. Actually slept in relatively late for me. I slept in till 10 to 8, whereas normally I'm up, and normally I hear Travis dancing around, eager for his walk. He does this very funny thing where he lies in wait outside my bedroom, and when I come out, he's just perfectly still, and then suddenly he jumps up and he's spinning around in the air like a bucking bronco, and doing these spinning motions. He just gets so excited, so excited. I think it's when it's nice cold weather, I find it so nice. You can happily sleep in bed. We've got a beautiful goose down doona, which feels like sleeping wrapped in a cloud. Goose down or duck down, I'm not sure. Oops, catching on the hinge. So I was really happy to find this design. I really love the detailing in it. My friend Martha Managros, who also makes fabulous videos on YouTube, she was struggling to sort of find one that she likes. I shared the letter M in the same design. I luckily screenshotted the full alphabet when I was looking through. I hadn't actually noted down where it's from, but if anyone needs a letter, I can do the same, as long as I've got a way that I can message you outside of YouTube, because it doesn't have that functionality, alas. And so excited today that my package, my giveaway to my 1,000 subscriber giveaway got to the United States safely and actually pretty quickly. And so my recipient emailed to say that they'd received their their package of goodies. And I shared a little video that I'd made at the time that I was packing it all up, because I thought you guys might like to see. Oh, I've got a little bit of dry skin on my finger. I'm just going to get rid of that because that will catch away on things. And probably just need to do the centre a little bit of this flower. And speaking of packages, one of my lovely swappies from the Great Big Little Stitchery swap that the lovely Annie Claxton from Arty Farty Annie on YouTube has organised. So yeah, one of my swappies has just let me know that she's popped my swap square in the mail. So excited to soon at some point be receiving the first of my swap squares. So as soon as this is done, I definitely do need to get going on the next of mine. I've only got one in the mail so far myself, but this weekend I think will be the perfect weekend weather-wise for lots of stitching. Just managed to unthread myself. So I had a busy morning today. We're getting a house ready to rent out. So yeah, just lots of things to do there. Lots of sorting through because it has been an occupied house. But just generally every weekend, spend sort of the morning doing that and listing things that need to be done, maintenance and other things, to get it all shipshape. And then my reward in the afternoon is I get to come home and do stitching. I think, as I mentioned in the other video, I just find backstitch is so relaxing to do, particularly the stab version, just up and down, and the version where you're not overlapping, you're not getting the sort of the lumpy background is my favourite backstitch. So while I was finishing off that other side of the bee, I was watching some other videos, including Annie receiving various Stitchery squares coming in, which is just lovely. And she's got her other arty friends who send her gorgeous things. And I watched the lovely Leanne from Leanne's Crafty Cupboard. And make sure you check her and her videos out, because she was sharing her work on the Dictionary of Stitches, or what I'm now calling the Treasury of Stitches that this piece will be going into. And so, she'd been working on her letter A, so actually making a monogram. We didn't know we were making monograms at the time, and she used all the letter A stitches in that. And it's just always so lovely to see Leanne's work. She does such beautiful stitching, and just such delicate work. So be sure to head over. I did a little community post with a link to Leanne's channel and video. So hopefully folks will head over there. And And yeah, she's taking part in this project as well. I think she's making, is it a Victorian or Elizabethan little needle, no, not needle, sewing case. And she'll be doing all the prompts on each of the sort of surfaces of that. So I can't wait to see that project unfold. It's going to be super. It's just so many different ways you can, yeah, kind of take the Roxy prompts and incorporate them into either existing projects like I'm doing with the dictionary or the Treasury of Stitches, but also create new projects as well. And you can go as complicated or as simple as you like. No need to kind of feel overwhelmed. For this one, like some people will just be finding a beautiful monogram that they might have and they might add something to it, or they might just want to use it and include it as the treasure that it is. I've actually got to have a look through my my many boxes of vintage gorgeous linens that I have collected and see which ones have monograms and if I might like to include any of those additional. Because as Rachel is saying, there's no limit. With any of the prompts, you can include more than one item. So it's a really flexible project. And ultimately, it's a project for joy. So if you want to kind of even take a different interpretation on things, that's fine too. I mean, you can even get gorgeous, I know in France I've seen many of them, gorgeous monogram little brooches. So you could even include one of those in your treasure project, your treasure hunt project. Just clip that onto a gorgeous little fragment of fabric. So we'll be also starting work on my next monogram piece. And that's going to be on some very special fabric and a different approach. I'll use the back stitch to outline the piece, but I'm going to do a raised monogram for that one, I think. In a simpler, less ornate design, but it's still going to be, yeah, quite ornate because it's going to have all the letters of my name in it. Well, not all the letters, just all the, initials of my name. Otherwise, no. It would be a very busy monogram if we tried to put my entire name in it. Okay. I'm just going to make my way back to the centre. Just so I don't get a long stitch, I'm just passing it through some stitches here. And that's the way I'm just sort of working down, getting each section done. Not sure what these leaves, I think they remind me a bit of oak leaves. I'm going to have a look if they are. Which is quite fitting actually, because my surname has oak as part of it. And there certainly were lots of grand oak trees around the sort of, yeah, the French estates and other estates as well, English estates probably. Sometimes I just ad-lib with my design, like with that leaf I decided it needed a little jaggy out bit at the side, so I just took my needle where I wanted the stitching to go. It's a great thing as you stitch, you can just kind of, yeah, have a look how it's going. But do be careful if you are using the friction marker and you're ironing off the design on one part of it, just be careful you don't take all your design off. Unless you're willing to then just sort of, yeah, freehand it. think I'll tie it off there. It's very... So as you can see on the back, I'm very flat because I'm using that backwards and forwards backstitch. And so this is just a Finca vintage yarn number 12. I was lucky to get such a collection of crochet and perle threads from the Sewing Lair online op shop recently. If you've been watching my channel, you would have seen lots of haul videos where I share goodies from there, as well as actual op shops that I get to shop at. I might just put a little, I haven't actually drawn a leaf on this side, but I think I'll do a little stem coming down with a little leaf here as well. Again, just making it up as I stitch. Oops, catching on my embroidery hoop. Just turn it around a bit. So yeah, despite it being windy, the sun's come out and it actually looks rather lovely out there. Travis and Alex have taken a trip down to visit Alex's parents. They love seeing Travis, their favourite grandson. They don't have any actual grandchildren. They've got an equally favourite another puppy as well, Dante, that is Alex's brother's dog. But yeah, Travis is just such an affectionate boy. I think Dante thinks he's actually a human. Probably Travis does as well, really. He's definitely a pampered pooch, Travis, of a morning before I've even thought about my own coffee, and definitely well before I've thought about my breakfast. He gets his Weetabix. That's how he starts his breakfast, and then his second course is fresh vegetables with a poached or just a dry fried egg without any oil. Keeps his coat super shiny and lush and gives him lots of good vitamins. But it's rare that I actually have an egg for breakfast myself. Usually it's just some toast or some porridge later on in the morning. But no, Travis gets his needs attended to. So yeah, usually the Weet-Bix first, and then one of us will make the second course breakfast, and I'll usually then be taking Travis out for his early morning walk with me, and then I get to come home and have my coffee to start the day. But it's actually it's a lovely way, because I find that on that walk, particularly on the cool sort of misty mornings, throughout the course of the walk, I'm waking up, my body's sort of coming into focus, and I can kind of think about anything that's on my mind and work out a little bit of a plan ahead, and I think it just sets the day off nicely. It's a slow meditative start, and having the body moving, and by the time I get home my body feels nice and warm and not stiff anymore. I don't like this aging bit of getting sort of that little bit of stiffness in the morning when you wake up. But taking the walk definitely, gets that out of the system quickly. Yeah, always do 2 additional other walks during the day with Travis, one after lunch and then one in the late afternoon. And each of them we take a different path. For the one in the late afternoon, we usually drive to another park a bit further afield, because he likes to have a really good sniff walk there. A sniff safari, I think, as I've heard it called. So yes, he's definitely a pampered solo child. There we go. Hopefully I'm managing to stay on camera. It's hard because sometimes I do just get lost in the stitching and the chatting, and I won't always be staring up to look into the screen. I also watched a video from the lovely Susanna from Vintage Blend Studios, who was sharing some of her goodies from the UK, from the trip she took after the French trip. Lots of yummy goodies. I love seeing people's stash videos. Even though it's not in my stash, I still get excited for them and what they're going to create. Oops. Now there's a little thread. Is that just... I need to put just one little stitch. I think I missed a tiny, separated a thread out in the process of doing my stitches. But back stitches is very forgiving. You can just add another little stitch if you need to. So yeah, they're forecasting blizzard conditions across some parts of Victoria, but at the moment, as I was saying, it's sunny and a bit of blue in the sky, some clouds, but maybe that will come later. I think we'll be having yummy fish and chips for dinner tonight. That's the plan, I believe. We've done home cooking all week, so we like to have a little treat every now and then. Sometimes we get a wood-fired pizza, but we've also got a lovely fish shop near us that gets the most gorgeous, fresh fish, locally sourced in Victoria. And yeah, they do all sorts of fish dishes, but they do the traditional fish and chips. I usually get a fish burger, which is also just jammed full with gorgeous salad on a brioche bun. And Alex sometimes gets a meat burger, but then we usually get some other fish as well. And it's just so fresh that we actually just then keep that for the next day and get to have some lovely fish and chippies also. Probably shouldn't have. I'm just going to undo that last stitch. I just did it a bit long. I want all of my sort of stitches to be a bit more even than that. I think I'll just take those 2 stitches out. I was getting a bit excited about getting to the end. And yeah, just love this toile fabric. So gorgeous. And it's nice to have taken that. I've just done it again, haven't I? Taken a long stitch. I need to do a shorter stitch. Thank you for bearing with me and my threading and unthreading. Okay, short stitch, Christine. Don't be getting all gushy about the toile and forgetting what you're doing. And so yes, toile is going to feature in my next piece as well. So stay tuned on that. I might get that piece started off next. So I might share a video of that tomorrow. I like these little heart motifs as little flowers. They're very sweet. So when I was hand drawing it, I drew them in a few more places than what the design even had, because I like the shape. beautiful cup of lemongrass and ginger and lime tea here. I was just having a little sip of that. Just love lemongrass and ginger particularly together. Such a warming drink for winter. In fact, I don't think I tend to drink that as a combo in summer. A bit too, yeah, probably is too warming for the body. I don't drink teas as much in summer either, but I will make sort of iced teas or cold teas, I guess. Do have to be careful when you're stitching that you don't knock your drink over on your work. You hope that things will be colour fast, but you don't want to risk it. And the staining if the tea has a vibrant colour like a hibiscus or something, which you can actually use to dye your fabrics and get gorgeous colours from hibiscus. I think it was Sarah Humphrey I saw doing some eco dyeing, and she got lovely colours from hibiscus. Let's see if we can get to the end on this piece of thread. I fear that we might have to rethread just for a tiny little section. Can we do it? Trying to think the most economical way to move my needle to get all my stitches in, and I think we can do it. Yay! Okay. I think I'll just do a single longer stitch there. I think that will be fine. Perfect. And now I'll just pass it through, tie it off, keep it in the needle, and then just take it through one of the nice tight stitches as well, just as an extra. Where did my needle go? Put that into my felt mat so we don't lose it. And there is our bee. So I've got the iron hot behind me. Let me just pop up and I'll just give it a quick iron to remove any of the friction marker. Nice and hot now. Sometimes takes a moment after it hasn't been used. So there we go. Out of the hoop. Let's just take a look at it. I'm just standing up so I can see what you can see through the camera. Really happy with that, I think. Probably need to put just a tiny, there's just a little missing stitch just there, so I might go back and fix that little one up. But oh, and there's probably a missing little stitch here, so yeah, I can just do that just and then pass my needle down at the back where the stitches are, so I don't end up with any long loopy bits. But really thrilled with that. Love how I've got the swirly design, and that's going to look really delightful on one of the pages of my Stitch Along book, which will be pages like this, and I can have it cut down and with the sort of the fray edge on it, and that will be a gorgeous bit. And I'm planning to do some of the other stitches around it, like the honeycomb stitch, our little people stitch, the scalloped edge, so I can just do some decorative. And just before I think I got this in my recent package from the purveyor of Reclaimed Textiles. How beautiful is this little bit of lace? So I think lace and embroidered edging, so I think some of that will get put on this page as well. Given this is now my treasure hunt piece, it's sort of giving me liberty to add other treasures into it. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you soon. Bye everyone.